Are you a real estate investor looking to close more deals each month? Then I highly suggest that you start working with real estate agents if you're not already doing so. In this video, I'm going to break down all the benefits that come with working with agents and how they can seriously increase the deal flow in your business and help you close more deals each month. What's up, you guys? My name is Lillian Chukwueze, and if you're new to my channel, welcome to the family. I talk all about real estate, entrepreneurship, and investing. So if any of those topics interest you, like the video, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss when I drop the next video. Now, I know for some reason there's some kind of beef between investors and agents, but I keep saying this over and over again. It's really collaboration over competition. I really think investors and agents really need to work together to grow each of their businesses. Even starting out as an investor, I was told that agents aren't really that much of an asset to your business unless they're giving you comps. But as I came to find out as time went on that they can be a huge asset to an investor's business, and as well as an investor being a huge asset to an agent. But again, I'm gonna tell you guys in this video why you should be working with agents as an investor and how they can help your business. So one of the main things that you gotta consider is you gotta understand the importance of a team, right? So a typical group of people on an investor's team include a couple different people, such as, the general contractor, the private or hard money lenders, the property manager, the attorney, the insurance agent, also the accountant, the escrow or title representative, and of course, if you're listening to this video, it needs to include a real estate agent. The better team that you build, the better success you will have. I mean, I play sports all my life, so I always compare it to sports. I play basketball, so obviously the better team that you surround yourself with, the more championships that you're gonna win, and it's pretty plain and simple. Now, let's get into the benefits of working with agents. One of the benefits is market knowledge. An experienced agent or even a new agent should pretty much have a working knowledge of the specific market, the trends and the prices and property sales. Us as agents, we have access to the insider knowledge that can pretty much aid investors in finding properties being sold for under market values, pull comps quickly, and list properties strategically. Investors spend a lot of time doing this research, so it completely alleviates the investor from having to do this, because if they trust the information that you're giving them, they don't have to worry about that. They don't have to worry about putting time and effort into finding out specific things. Obviously, they still have to do their own minimal research, but as long as they trust you as a real estate professional and that you know what you're talking about, they'll be more apt to working with you. So then, of course, any of that time that you alleviate from the investor from having to do that market research, it allows the investor to now focus on other things in their business, such as, managing rehabs and things of that nature. Another benefit to having an agent on your team is being able to access more listings. One of the main benefits to having a realtor is to be able to access the multiple listing service, which is the MLS. We all know that MLS is a database filled with a bunch of listings and information on properties. Pretty much licensed agents only have access to this, as well as post listings on there and submit offers and set up alerts to get newly listed properties and coming soon properties. And we even have, as an agent, we even have access to private groups within our Facebook workplace. With me, specifically within the eXp Realty, we have a private workplace in Facebook that agents pretty much just blast out their pocket listings. They blast out their deals that haven't even hit the coming soon category. So, if you get access to an agent who's willing to put you on deals before they even hit coming soon, you have a higher chance of being able to get, good deals. So the next benefit to being able to work with an agent is getting quick deals. As I just mentioned, getting access to deals that, haven't even hit the marketplace for the coming soon category is huge. And working together, investors and agents are more likely to strike up deals faster than they would if they were working alone. Because by using the competitive advantages of each role, an investor-realtor duo is pretty much more likely to be able to identify, negotiate, purchase, and sell properties at a much faster rate than if they were to just do it by themselves. And if you're an agent watching this, I also made a video about why agents should work with investors to expand and grow their business as well. I'll leave a link up to that above and below, so agents can also check that out and see more about how we can collaborate within the real estate realm. Now, another reason why investors should work with agents is referrals. Now, realtors are typically well connected within the community as well as investors. So agents know the buyers and the sellers and also the investors. And obviously they work heavy off of referrals as well, so they are working with previous clients. So agents can serve as a consistent source of business referrals, such as motivated sellers, which cash buyers love or investors love, or even news of distressed properties in the neighborhood. And we all know agents do not like listing distressed properties because obviously the worse a house is, the less value it has, the less money an agent is going to get paid. So if you could pass that off to an investor who will buy cash and kind of get that deal closed as soon as possible, there's obviously room for collaboration in there, and each person will get paid individually. And investors literally love those type of deals when agents refer them directly to the seller so they can get it closed out in a much faster way. So another benefit for investors to work with agents is the fact that there are seamless transactions. Now, executing an investing strategy can be challenging, right? So working with a realtor to manage the transaction side of the deal can be very, very helpful for investors, because now the investors can focus on the investment task at hand, like I said earlier, such as property renovations, managing tenants and everything like that. And another great reason to work with agents as an investor is because of repeat business. Once an investor and a realtor have established a great relationship, they can pretty much begin to count on each other. And like I said earlier, they have that trust and they can create a consistent flow of business because they know each person is going to perform. And once you start to do frequent deals together, you're creating a consistent profit stream for both parties and each person wins. So another reason to work with agents is free leads. We know how strenuous it is to do the type of marketing that's needed, for a wholesaler or an investor to do multiple deals. All the different marketing strategies when it comes to, pulling several distress lists like code violations and everything like that, and then having to actually market to these people, using cold calling, texting, RVMs, direct mail. We all know it comes at a major, major cost. So as an investor, if you know that that's your biggest cost when it comes to your business, if you can eliminate those marketing costs or at least minimize them, that'll seriously boost your net profits. And the best thing about working with agents like me, who started out on the investing side, is the fact that I completely understand the business. I know the model, and I've spent thousands of dollars of marketing, to get the deals that I've gotten. And I understand the numbers that investors have to be at in the mindset of investors, because I still am one. Just because I got my license doesn't mean that my knowledge of the investing world has gone away. I'm still implementing that on a day-to-day basis, but I also work with investors to get the same deals that I'm looking for. And of course, I run my numbers. If I was the one that were going to be purchasing the deal, and if I don't think the deal makes sense, then I won't even waste my time sending it out to my investors, because I know that'll essentially be wasting their time. So if you understand how agents can be extremely effective and beneficial to your business to help you close more deals each and every month, the next step is to simply find an agent. Find an investor-friendly agent. In the same way investors have to vet motivated sellers and ask them questions, is the same way you have to vet agents to make sure that they actually understand the business and understand the types of deals that you're going after, and basically understand how they can be an asset to your business. So this is pretty much how you're able to identify investor-friendly realtors, so you know who to add to your team and who not to work with. The first thing you gotta do is figure out their level of experience, right? So the first thing you wanna ask them is, do you invest in real estate? Because you wanna know if they're actually, developing, or if they have that investor mindset as well, because I believe every agent should be looking to invest in real estate the way they're obviously helping others do the same, because it just makes sense, right? The next question you wanna ask them is, have they ever worked with investors before? Not saying that new agents can't work with investors, but it gives you a gauge of, where they're kind of at in their investing journey, and being able to work with investors. It just gives you an idea of, what type of agent that you're going to be working with, and, whether you have to kind of educate them in certain aspects of the business or not. Now, the next question you want to ask them is, what kind of investing strategies are you familiar with? An agent should be familiar with investing strategies. However, unfortunately, when you go to real estate agent school, you really don't learn anything about the actual strategies. You more so learn about the laws. So if they don't know about the strategies, and if they're willing to learn, I would say go ahead and try to educate them so they know how to help you. But if they're not familiar with the strategies and they're not really open to learning about the strategies, then that's probably not an agent that you want to work with. And that's also another reason why I'm very, very thankful that I got in on the investing side first before I got in on the agent side. The agent side is very black and white, it's just very plain, but the investing side is very creative. So you learn different strategies such as wholesaling, obviously fixing and flipping, buying and holding. You learn different strategies of closing, such as seller financing, subject tos, lease options, novations. You learn so many different strategies that I'm now able to help with investors who are looking to do the same thing, because I understand how to set up these strategies and how to structure them in order to get a deal closed. And like I said, even if they're new, it doesn't mean that they won't be a good fit to work with, because we all have to start somewhere. And newbies are usually hungry, and you can pretty much gauge how well that they know the market. And again, if they're willing to learn, I would say teach them. So the next question you want to ask an agent is, do they stay up to date with the current inventory and the pricing trends? It's literally our job as agents to understand the trends in the market. So we should always have a pulse on the market. And if your agent doesn't, then they're probably working this as a part-time gig, and whatever they get, and they're probably not taking it as serious as they need to. So that's something to consider when you are kind of interviewing agents. The next thing you got to do when you're working with agents is you got to be able to assess their level of comfort when making multiple offers. So you can ask them, are you comfortable with making multiple low offers? Because we know as investors that a deal has to make sense financially in order for you to actually close on it, and that because there's so many things that can go wrong with the property, the price that you're offering is usually lower than what a seller expects. So if an agent is not comfortable with making low offers, then that's probably not one that you want to work with. But if they are, then you know that as an investor, you can get them to make multiple offers on properties, because that's what it takes to get good deals. And then along with that question, you can ask them, would you say you're comfortable with negotiating, or is that a struggle for you? Because again, along with making multiple offers, they have to be willing to negotiate, because the seller isn't just going to say yes. And sometimes they might not say no, but if they're not willing to negotiate, then a deal is pretty much dead just on the first offer. So you got to be able to know that your agent is willing to negotiate and kind of fight for your price a little bit. The next question I would ask an agent is, can you explain to me what you are and are not willing to do? Because this will give me a gauge, or you as an investor, a gauge of what your agent is willing to do and what not to do, because there's certain agents that are comfortable with doing things and certain agents that aren't comfortable with doing things. One of the things that investors usually request of their agents is access to the MLS, so they can go ahead and run their own comps and do things like that. And sometimes agents aren't comfortable with that. So certain things within your investing business, you gotta figure out if an agent is willing to do or not to do, and then you can kind of make a decision based off of that, if you want to work with them. The next question you want to ask them is, what expectations do you have from me as an investor, so you guys can have a synergistic relationship, and you guys know exactly what you expect from the agent and what the agent expects from you, so you could be on the same playing field. And then of course you have to be able to determine their level of competence in the investing realm and their mindset as an investor. So a question you can ask them is how many properties they have sold, what are their marketing strategies for selling these type of properties. You can also ask them, are you familiar with investing formulas and the terminology? Because if they're not familiar with the formulas and the terminology, obviously this is another thing or another couple things that you need to be able to teach them and educate them on, because they have to understand this in order to make offers and bring you deals, instead of constantly, or instead of wasting time with deals that aren't really deals. Going back into the formulas and everything, another question you want to ask them is, do you know how to calculate cap rate? That's important. That's important for multifamily properties. Next question is, can you calculate cash flow and after repair value? That's important for any property. Another question I ask them is, can you calculate or ballpark a purchase price? And of course, you got to figure out if the agent, depending on your model, is familiar with wholesaling. So you got to ask them straight up, like, do you understand the wholesaling process? Can you negotiate the purchase price? I mean, that's big in wholesaling. That's big, in any form of investing in real estate. You can ask them as well, do you have a network of potential buyers? Because that can aid in the model of your investor. Another question to ask the agent is, do you market for distressed properties? Because you also want to know how and if they are coming in contact with these specific properties that you're looking for. So guys, I pretty much laid out exactly why investors really need to include agents in their business and in their model. And I laid out all the questions that you can basically ask to interview these agents to make sure that they're a good fit for you. And when it comes down to it, agents can really alleviate a lot of work for investors while simultaneously bringing in a ton of more business for themselves and for you. So if investors learn to collaborate with agents and vice versa, I really believe that both parties can build a prosperous relationship and can create many financial win-win situations for each. And if you're an investor in the Pennsylvania market or the Jersey market, definitely contact me so we can pretty much, squad up and work together, get some deals closed out. I'll put my cell phone number actually in the description and my email as well. And you guys can feel free to reach out to me. Definitely get connected with me and my team. We are investor-focused agents and investor-friendly agents within eXp Realty. I can basically give you a breakdown of how we kind of do things and how that might help your business. Again, I'll leave all my information down below so you guys can feel free to contact me. If this video helped you at all, please give it a like, subscribe to my channel, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss the next video. And definitely follow me on socials on Instagram and TikTok. I'll leave those links down below. Until the next video, guys, stay safe, stay blessed. I will see you later.